Hello everyone, this is Geraint, and I'm gonna give you another update to my Dragon Knight tanking build, the Blockade. This update is for the Dark Brotherhood patch, and there are some changes that are pretty significant, gear-wise and also trade-wise on the gear, because there were a lot of changes to that things, also for champion system stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do everything again from the start. So since it's that a big update, so let's start with the race. I've tested this build with an Imperial and Dunmer DK, and it works pretty nice still, even with all the changes that were in this update. So I can show you how my stats are just with the food buff. So let's have a look here. I've changed also a bit in my attributes. I moved some of the points from health to stamina now. So you can see with my 3 stat purple food, I have now roughly 31.5k health, which is enough, I would say. Before I had like, I don't know, 34 or 35 even. And it also helps me for the stamina, but you could also, for example, do a 34 and go 15-15 if you want. It depends on your race. I mean, if you are like a Nord or an Orc or an Imperial, then you can pretty much do that, and you would still be on the safe side, I would say. I always tend to stay over 30k health. Some people say that or that 25k or a bit more is enough for endgame content, but you're not always running with the top geared players. At least I don't do. So I always have to have a little bit safe on health. So I rather always stay on over 30k. So if you would go with let's say a Dunmer, then you probably have to put in like I did. I think I had like 40 in health, and then I have it like 12-12 magic and stamina split. But you could also do 40 and 20 here. That's also a possibility. I always, like I said, I always try to stay over 30k. Then let's see, I've also changed my Mundus stone. I'm now running the Atronach because I'm running a more Magicka focused build, even though I only have like 20k, but it's still a lot for a tank. I'm going for recovery. It really helps me, but again, if you want, you can still keep it with the ones that were presented in the other versions of the build, so like Tower for stamina or Mage for Magicka. That's also a possibility if you need that those 2 attributes for your tanking. For me, the Atronach works fine. I'm still thinking of maybe changing it to something else, but so far I had no problems. Yeah, so like I said, there are some changes in the champion point system with this update. Some of the passives were changed in the stars. Some whole skills were changed to another star. So let's have a look at the champion system again. In the written form of this build, that you can find also in the description of the video, and the link goes to Tamriel Foundry, where I've posted my build in written form. I always present 2 options for the champion distribution. One is more Magicka based, which I'm presenting now and which I have now, and the other one is the stamina based route. I only use the damage points for Veteran White Gold Tower Atronach boss to get more damage, but if you can close the portals without problem with the point distribution that you think you have, then of course you can change those points around. Basically, it's just a change from elemental or mighty. So I'll just put points in there. If you think you don't need that many points than I have, then by all means you can distribute them to, for example, blast for your self heals or whatnot. So it's just a suggestion for the DPS part, because honestly I only need like 30 points in the blue to get, for example, the riposte, and the rest I could also put into blast or something like that, and it would still work. But for this build, I'll just show you what I have now. So let's start with the red, the warrior part. If you remember, this one was the blocking, and blocking got moved to the shadow. It's now called it's no longer called blocking expertise, it's now called shadow ward. And as you can see, I don't have any points in the shadow ward. Oh my god. Yeah. I'll show you when I go to the gear section why I don't even have any more points into that star, and why I'm still calling this build Blockade. I mean, no points into blocking? Well, you will see. It's not that much of a difference, to be honest, but yeah. So, like I said, we are basically saving 100 points now, because I had like 100 points in the blocking expertise. And those 100 points we now split up. So I have now 16 to hardy. Oh, that setup is for like when you've maxed out the champion points, like 501. So if you want a more detailed version where to put champion points, if you have less than 501, please check out my written guide. I have it like from 90, 180 and so on till 501. I have options there when to put points where and stuff. So if you are maxed out and have 16 to hardy, 16 to elemental defender, and 17 into thick skinned, which opens up everything here. It's basically PvP most of the time. I don't do PvP, but hardy and elemental defender and thick skin is pretty much needed for end game tanking. So yeah. Then we have the Lord. Lord, I have put in 30 points into heavy armor focus to get more physical resistance, because again, you will see that I've changed a lot of my gear and I need more physical resistance now to get to the cap. So that's why I put in 30 points. It opens field physician, which I normally have anyways, that 10 rank, and the 30 rank is, yeah, it just opens up if you put in 30. Yeah, I've put in 30. I could maybe just put in like, I don't know, 25 maybe, but I just put in the 5 points more to open it up. I mean, here's nothing really changed as far as I know. So I have 9 into magician because I'm going for the magicka route, and 46 into warlord. If you're going the stamina way, then you basically swap it out. And I have 31 into the arcanist. I could also stayed with just 30, but you know, you have one left over. So, and again, like I said before, nothing into blocking. More on that later. Apprentice, there's also something changed around. Like I said before, I'm doing enough damage to close the portals easily. Yeah, even though the instance got easier. Also, it got nerfed, so I don't need that much anymore there. So I have 63 in elemental expert, 10 in elfborn, 1 in spell erosion. I mean, you could also just put in 1 point here and put the rest into blast. Blast is really good for your self healing and stuff. I rather focus on blast more than on elemental expert, that's why. So you could put in those 9 points there if you want to. I also put in 15 into staff expert and 15 into melee weapon expert to open up riposte. Again, if you're going for the stamina version, then you put in the 15 from the staff to the bow expert. Here I have nothing again because I'm going magicka. So basically you put in those elemental expert points here to mighty and piercing and precise strike. Again, if you want to know everything in detail, then please check out the written guide. So that is it for the champion system. So like I said before, I have changed quite a bit here on the champion system because I changed also the gear to reflect the change of the blocking expertise. So I'm gonna show you now how my gear looks like and what I did. So basically, the new trait on my gear for the Blockade build is now Sturdy. Sturdy, like you see here on my Curious of Hispark, Sturdy gives you, if you enchant it to gold, reduce block cost by 4%. So basically, I have currently 5 Sturdy pieces of the Hispark enchanted to gold, which basically gives me a 20% block cost reduction combined. I also used a Lord Warden set to get the PDEF and spell resistance up. And I don't have those 2 in Sturdy yet, so I didn't enchant them to gold, and I didn't really change the enchantments on there, except maybe this I put in Magicka on there. So I would probably have 7 Sturdy item, which brings me to 28% blocking, which is 3% more than putting 100 points into the blocking tree. You could also do it that way, that you put in, like on the big pieces, like the helmet, the breastplate and the pants, that you put there infused on. So you would have to get an infused Lord Warden and do that infused and do that infused, and do the rest of the items with Sturdy. So you basically would have 3 infused ones and, well, actually 4, but armor wise here you would have 4 Sturdy and 3 infused, which would only give you 16%. But what you could do is if we jump back to the champion system, you could remove 1 point here to be at the 30, and remove some points from the Warlord and the Magician, and put like, I don't know, 5 or 6 points. I think it's 6 points to Shadow Ward. Then you would have I think 3.5%, and you would again be at around 20, around 20%. It's not as much as 100 into blocking expertise before, but yeah, you would have at least 20, and you would have the infused. I mean, you have to decide if you want to do that. I personally go for the Sturdy way, so if possible 7 pieces in Sturdy, or maybe just 1 in infused. I'm not sure yet. If I get an infused Lord Warden helm, I will probably keep it and just try to get another Sturdy piece here. So I would have 6, which would still be 20%, and yeah, 20% is quite good. So again, Lord Warden. Why did I choose Lord Warden and not Bloodspawn? Most of the sites on the internet still show the wrong Lord Warden set bonus. Basically, that set was changed in Thief Guild, and it's no longer 6% chance to proc, it's now 50% chance to proc when you take damage. So even though you only get like I think the Lord Warden is, like you can see, like if you enchant it to gold, like 3,850 or something to physical and spell resistance, and Bloodspawn in gold is like 6.8k or something, but it's only still the 6% chance, and I can pretty much keep that one up all the time. So I can keep that bonus up all the time, because as a tank, when I block, I'm getting hit all the time at 50% for 10 seconds. It also helps your group, because that Shadow Orb is quite big. I think the radius is, don't shoot me, I think between 5 and 8 meters for close range DPS or whoever is in there, and they also get the buff, so it's quite nice. So I prefer Warden over Bloodspawn. I also, in the written guide, completely removed the option for Engine Guardian, because Engine Guardian was only working for me because I had it. I had all the gear in reinforced, so I had more physical resistance. If I remove that thing here, I'm losing basically around 4k physical resistance, and I can show you if I count that on, I have 4k more. So if I activate that thing here, as you can see, I'm at the cap then, if I get that 4k around. So I'm over the cap. I'm also over the cap here, and if it procs, so I'm around 36k on spell resistance and around 34k on physical resistance. Now, if you would go with Engine Guardian, then you would have a problem, because you would be at around the cap around the level that I would be now. So around 31, 32 on spell resist, and 30 on the physical resistance. So if you really want to use Engine Guardian, then you would have to sacrifice points from Hardy, Elemental Defender, and Thick-Skinned, probably, to pump that up. So basically, if you know my old version of the build, you would have to transfer those 100 points from the blocking expertise to heavy armor focus to basically get that thing up again to a level where you can hit the cap or get close to the cap. I actually haven't tested it, so I don't know what 100 brings physical resistance wise. I'm not sure if the 100 overcaps it, or if it's lower, or even you have to test it for yourself. I really haven't tested it because I don't really want Engine Guardian on my build. I mean, I guess it works still if you put in the points here, but you will lose your Hardy and Elemental Defender percentages. But I would say the build still works if you are going for Engine Guardian, but you have to sacrifice and decide if it's worth it for you. So let's check the other gear out. I've also changed my jewelry. If you remember, I had willpower and agility for jewelry, sword, and shield. I have switched to Baharas, or Baraha. I've switched to Baraha's Curse set. The Baraha's Curse set, as far as I know, only comes in blue in Champion 160, but the weapons come in purple, as far as I know, and also in blue, and the shield comes also in purple and in blue, at least in blue, but that's not really a problem. So I have the Baraha Curse set now. Like my old build, I have enchanted all of the 3 jewelry with the blocking reduced cost enchantment. So the Baraha Curse is actually not that bad. I mean, I don't really care about the 4-piece part with the traps. At least I haven't encountered anything that is counting as trap, but maybe I just missed something. We basically get all 3 attributes, which is not too bad. It's basically a prismatic enchant, or a double prismatic enchant actually, if you count it up, compared to this. Yeah, it's around double. And the set bonus is actually pretty good, the 5-piece. To be honest, I don't really care too much about the damage that it does. I mean, it's quite good. It's like 1 second, like 1k, but it's also healing for the damage done. So if you have like a trash mob group when you're doing dungeons or trials, and they are in the area of when that thing procs, you don't need a healer. It heals so good. It's really awesome. I really like that set. And yes, you lose 500 magicka and 500 stamina around because you're not using willpower and agility 2-piece set, but I think that weighs it up. So as you can see, I have 3 pieces of jewelry of that set. I also have the one-hander and the shield. I have enchanted the shield, as far as I know, only comes in infused, reinforced, and something else. I've chosen infused. I've bought that from guild traders for like both shields in purple, I think, together for 1k, so like 400, 400, 600 for the other. Was quite lucky. Just enchanted them. On my main bar, I have enchanted them with prismatic. On my off bar, I haven't yet enchanted it because I have to get more Hakeo runes. I'm currently out of them. So this one will also be enchanted prismatic when I switch the bars. Then my one-hander, I also got those cheap, I think for together also like 1.5k, so one for 1k and the other one for 500 gold. They were pretty cheap at that time. And I've enchanted my main weapon with the magical damage restore stamina enchant, and the most important part, you have to have it on defending. That thing is also like defending and powered and precise or whatever can drop with it, but get defending because you need the physical and spell resistance. Again, you even get it higher when you are enchanting it to gold. I haven't yet. Then on my off bar, I have it still in blue currently because I really want to have a sword so I can distinguish them when I switch. I have enchanted it with a crusher enchantments to reduce the target spell resist and physical resist, and also defending. And yeah, so my main weapon is the restore stamina, magical damage, and on the offhand I have the spell resist, physical resist, crusher enchantment. Yeah, so basically sword, shield, jewelry, Bahara, 2-piece Undaunted, and then our normal Histbark. Yeah, like I said, enchantment sturdy, everything here. Block cost reduction. Here I have infused. I would say infused is better than reinforced in that case. And yeah, magical damage and stuff. Okay, so that's the main build for most of the dungeons and trials. I'm currently also evaluating 2 other sets that I would use for tanking. One of them could replace Baraha. Well, both of them actually replace Bahara, or Barana, whatever, Baraha. So one of them for veteran trials, but only for the boss fights, would be Lunar Bastion. It's the one below. The add-on is a bit messed up because it's old. So the below one is the Lunar Bastion. So I would go for Lunar Bastion set. I only have, for example, here this one because I don't have any other set items, but I would suggest to get the 5-piece of it. Also to replace the Bahara for boss fights only. So try to get 3 jewelry pieces and 1, or at least, or actually 2 one-hand weapons and 2 shields of that set. You get them. You get those items from if you are on the leaderboards as the reward, and also from veteran and normal Maw of Locage trial. So yeah, this one, and the other one I don't have to show, but it's one of the PvP sets. It's called the Harbinger set. It's a set that you can buy. I don't know if it drops from Rewards of the Worthy. I think it does, but I'm not sure, because I don't do PvP, as you know. But I know you can buy it from PvP secs at the Telvar vendor. I think it's 4k, and those pieces also come in at least infused, as far as I know, and they also come in jewelry, so you can get those items. I'm pretty sure it also comes as weapons. So if you're lucky, you can try to get those weapons with defending, or you should get the weapons with defending and the shield with infused of that Harbinger set. And the same for the Lunar Bastion. So I'm thinking the Harbinger set, which pretty much gives the Harbinger set is also a 5-piece that I know, and the 5-piece set gives you a block reflect. So basically, every time you block an attack, you reflect damage back on a percentage. I think it's 4 or 6%. So that means and it's based on health. So, for example, if you have 30k health and a monster attacks you or a boss attacks you, when you're blocking, you reflect at least 4%. I think that's the white version. So maybe it adds up if it's gold to like 6%. I'm not sure, but 4% for sure. So let's calculate with 5%. Let's take the golden middle. So 5%, which is 1.5k if I'm not missing, and there is no cooldown on that thing. So imagine you having trash mobs on you, and every attack that you block gets reflected on the mob that attacks you. So basically you reflect like thousands of damage back if you have more than one or a lot of mobs on you, like trash mobs. So you reflect a hell lot of damage, and there is no cooldown. So every time they hit you, you reflect that amount of damage back. Again, I have not tested it, but I saw it working on, I think Delta had it in one of his videos about Thief Guild, I think, or Dark Brotherhood. I think it was Dark Brotherhood, and there he was also PvPing with it and testing, and it reflected like I said, that 1.5k or something every time. So it seemed there was no cooldown. So yeah, if you're going for not healing but more damage output, then I would maybe suggest to get the Harbinger set. But again, I can't show it to you. I just know that it's there, and it's a PvP set. If you're doing more PvE, then of course I would really suggest to get the Lunar Bastion for boss monsters to get the minor Aegis of the 5% less damage done, and you're also helping your group with the damage shield. So yeah, that's the setup for the normal dungeons and for trials. Gear-wise, for Magicka and Stamina, if you're going DPS, I would suggest to check out some of those really good builds that are on Tamriel Foundry for DPS. I mean, I have some basic equipment that is crafted and stuff on my written guide, so you can check that out if you want. But if you really want to max out your DPS and whatnot, even if you're tanking, just switching, then please check out those DPS gears on DPS gear guides on Tamriel Foundry. There are a lot of them, and most of them are very, very good. Okay, let's have a look at the skills. Skill-wise, there hasn't really changed too much. So I'm still going with Pierce Armor, Heroic Slash, Hardened Armor, Igneous Shield, Defensive Stance, and Magma Shell. If you are going for like 7 sturdy, so 7 gold sturdy setup with its 28 block cost reduction, you could actually get rid of the defensive stance if you want on both bars. Here I also have already removed it. Get rid of it and get something else in that benefits the group, like for example igneous weapons or draw essence or deep breath, depending what you do. Deep breath is not too bad if you are in veteran Maw of Lokash, interrupting the mages and stuff with the bonus, but I like draw essence more to get the Magicka, because I'm on the Magicka version. You could also slot Eruption, or basically it's a utility slot now. If you're really on the 28% or over 25, you could remove that one and put something else in that helps you more, gives you more. I also have Aggressive Warhorn. I actually have that normally on bar 1 and have it like that. So I have Warhorn normally now on bar 1 and the Magma Shell as oh shit button on the second bar. Yeah, that's it for that. Again, if you want to see the skills for Magicka and Stamina DPS for the Edgenug boss, please check out those gear guides. They also have the skills in Tamriel Foundry. Again, on my written guide I also have suggestions, but they are by no means anything that is really top or worked out or anything, because my group is pretty much rushing through in Veteran White Gold Tower, so I just do some damage and be done with it and closing the portals. Yeah, I mean, some people ask me what passives they should take. I mean, take all the passives that you can, really. I mean, of course, in your class skills, all the passives. In the weapon tree, if you're going for the stamina, you know, max it out. I have also maxed it out here. I also wanted to test Power Slam, because it gets, if you have it slotted, the percentage is quite high. You get like 25% if you use the Power Slam after blocking, but the stamina cost is pretty significant, so I'm rather not using it, but I wanted to test it someday. Again, like I said, on every skill line that you want to use, max out the passives. I mean, I have everything maxed out here and here, except for like the 5-piece thing. If you're going stamina, of course, you put in the points here. Everything, so yeah, everything. And I also have Harness Magicka. Don't have the other ones. Yeah, this is also not that bad. Fighter's Guild, I'm not really using that anymore. Trap Beast is not bad also, but for me it costs too much stamina for tanking. I mean, if you're going DPS and you are stamina based, then yeah, you could train it. And if you train it, you should train it to, or morph it to the rearming trap one. I currently haven't it yet, but I have heard that it's pretty good. Yeah, I still have Shooting Star active. I mean, it's not that bad, but I normally only use those two here, and sometimes I'm using you know, the Take Flight, the Ferocious Leap one. Ferocious Leap. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not really doing PvP, so I only have Aggressive Horn. But another skill you could put in on the utility slot, if you have the PvP points, is Guard. And the morph is Stalwart Guard, so basically you take 30%, or you put that spell on someone, like a DPS, and you take 30% of his damage, and you also get a nice buff with it if you do it. So that's also a possibility to put on your slot 5, or wherever you put it on your utility slot. Again, racials, of course, you have to max it out, and crafting, if you do crafting, whatever you need. So that's for the skills. And I think that's it. So I hope my little build update helped you. And again, I can show you real quick just before I go and close this video how my stats are if I have mobs on me. So let's eat some food and buff up, and let's see how the proc is. So let's see. And there you go. That's the proc. That's the proc. So you can see I have now 35 and 30, close to 34, and it's pretty much active all the time. And as you can see, I can stand there and block. Nothing is really happening. Lord Warden is active again. So the Bahara set, yeah, it only activates if you're doing a damage ability. So you basically have to do either an attack, or it doesn't work on dots, and now it procs. Yeah, see. Now it procs. Yeah, I don't even hold block. It only activates on a skill. It doesn't activate on procs. So basically, if you're doing the burning embers, it only activates with the first tick or the first attack. It doesn't attack when it doesn't activate when the flame damage is ticking. So yeah, if you have the mobs, then you put them to that area, and then you get healed like crazy. So yeah, as you can see, I also changed my my looks a little bit, because you know I'm a fashion victim. I'm running on Ebenhard packed looks or style, and yeah, the shield and the mace is of course Thief Guild, because it's Baraha, and the gloves are Xivkin. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have a question, you can PM me on the EU server at GeraintAmbrosia, and or you send me a comment on my YouTube channel, or you just post on Tamriel Foundry post. It's there. It's called 2.4.x the Blockade in the Dragon Knight theory forum on Tamriel Foundry. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.